everyone to our 7th annual Chabad of Melbourne CBD Purim function. Let's get my notes in order. Even a wizard can't speak without notes, what can I say? As I said, Chabad of Melbourne CBD has been functioning in the CBD, the Central Business District, for the last 7 years, and has had the Purim function as well running for that time. The last 4 years of that time, the Purim function has been here in the town hall. Chabad of Melbourne CBD runs a weekly lecture series, shiur, and various other functions that occur on a monthly basis. And for more information, please see our website, chabad.org.au. Purim is a very special festival, a very, very happy occasion, which is celebrated throughout the world. Today it's an even greater celebration because it is celebrated together with large grabbers in the form of Formula One racing cars that are racing around Albert Park. It is only due to those very large grabbers that we have some form of competition to this afternoon's event, and I'm afraid that some of the people have decided to attend that event as well. Just briefly, just wanted to mention the 4 special customary mitzvot, or commandments, that we do on this day. Firstly, we read the Megillah. That was last night and this morning, which I'll be doing at the very end of the function, in hopefully a quick time. We also hand out gifts of food to our neighbours, 2 gifts of food. We also give gifts of money to the poor. It is a very strong tradition in the Jewish heritage to be involved in charity, and especially on Purim, where it says, whoever stretches his hand to take, or to ask for money, you must give. And finally, we conclude with the Purim meal, which we will be doing as well at the end of the function on the other side of the barriers there. I'd like to welcome you all this afternoon. I'd like to present you to all of the people and to all of our special guests that have kindly taken of their time to come and be with us here this afternoon. I'll start from my immediate right, starting with Rabbi Leo Bro, who's the Rav, the Rabbi at Bet Haroeh of the Mizrahi Shul. He was may I say so myself, a brilliant speaker and orator, and I'm sure you'll find him most insightful this afternoon. Mr. Tony Lapton, who is the State Member of Parliament, who apparently is a cricket bowler, is that right? Indeed. Tests are starting tomorrow. Mrs. Helen Shardy, who's not here yet, but she will be here shortly. She's just running a little bit late. Then we have the Honourable Mr. Rod Kemp, who's the Minister for Arts and Sport. And I just was noticing yesterday morning while feeding my little baby Weet-Bix that there was a message there from Mr. Kemp about the importance of eating Weet-Bix. And I can certainly say so, because when we feed my baby Weet-Bix, she doesn't cry, she doesn't drive us crazy. So thank you very much, Mr. Kemp.
Same here.
We are privileged to have once again Mr. Michael Danby, who is the federal member for Melbourne Ports, who's been here for at least 3 occasions, if not more, and he has so kindly has come once again and honoured us with his presence. And finally, the Lord Mayor, Mr. John So, the Mayor of Melbourne, who has honoured us once again for the 3rd time, I think, with his presence. I'll now call upon the Honourable Rod Kemp to come and address us. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I'll wear the hat actually, but as the law law and order man at the table, perhaps it was entirely appropriate I was given this particular hat to wear. And thank you for the very kind comments about the Weet-Bix. I have been a Weet-Bix kid for, well, more than 50 years, and it's always very hard to impress one's children. I don't know whether you found that, you're probably too young, but when I appeared on the back of a Weet-Bix packet, I can assure you the family thought that I had finally arrived. So anyway, thank you for drawing that to the attention of the audience. I'm here on behalf of John Howard, the Prime Minister. He couldn't be here today. He's asked me to attend on his behalf, and he's asked me to read a short message, and after I've completed the Prime Minister's message, may I also give a brief message of my own. The Prime Minister records that Purim is the story of a great event in the history of the Jewish people. For 2,500 years, Purim has been a day to celebrate the triumph of good over evil. It is one of the many Jewish celebrations that help define the Jewish identity. It is also a day, of course, at which we can reflect on the strength of the Jewish community in Australia and its continuing resilience and contribution to our great nation. The Prime Minister records that the Jewish community has made very important contributions across really all areas of community life. And in particular we can witness the professions, philanthropy, commerce and entertainment. When you reflect on Australian history, such names as Sir John Monash, engineer, administrator and outstanding Australian general during the First World War, Sir Isaac Isaacs, the Governor-General, the first Australian-born Governor-General in fact, and Sidney Meyer, who established the Meyer Emporium, are just some of the names which are deeply embedded in the history of this country, the people who have gone before us. The Prime Minister indicates that the past years have seen difficulties for members of the Jewish faith in Australia, with deplorable incidents of anti-Semitism and racial vilification. And he wanted me to assure you that the government is working with communities and community leaders to promote harmony and undermine intolerance and other factors which, if ignored, can lead to violence. The Prime Minister says the Jewish community has always worked hard to protect the fundamental rights in the Australian community and has shown great responsibility in responding to community fears. By consistently showing a commitment to the Australian nation, adherence to Australian values and respect for our institutions and laws, Jewish people demonstrate every day they are vital and energetic contributors to our nation. And that's a message that John Howard, the Prime Minister of Australia, asked me to bring to you today. Now, one of the message I would like to perhaps bring to you, one is perhaps less sombre than the other, but I will come back to the comment by the Prime Minister of the triumph of good over evil. One of my hobbies at the moment in the project is to put together a project on great parliamentary speeches. Now some people might say that may well be the smallest book in the world, but it is not so. I have put together some 70 and the list is still growing. One of the speeches and events which I wish to mark in this book was the death of General Monash. You can recall in the Prime Minister's comments he referred to General Monash. There was an ABC program recently on Australia Day, and people were asked to define who were the great Australians, and there were 6 people and there were 6 names came forward. It greatly surprised me that General Monash was not one of those names, to be quite frank. And it